Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. So the product I am reviewing for today's video, I reviewed about 6 months ago, I think it was. It is the Common Panda hair color wax. I posted that video not expecting it to get a ton of views like it did, or what I think is a ton of views, considering how small my channel is. Anything over 100 views I am really proud of, and this was in the thousands, so it is one of my better performing videos. But I received a lot of comments on that video about two main things that I want to address in this video. What I received the most amount of comments on, like majority comments I want to say, are I didn't put it on wet or damp hair. So when I was applying it, I went off of the directions on the jar, and it didn't say to put on wet or damp hair. It just says to apply to all areas that need a color boost, going from hair, root to tips, and smear evenly. So going off of just this, I didn't think it mattered whether it was on dry or wet hair, but a lot of people commented and said that you are supposed to put it on damp hair. So I ended up emailing Common Panda, and I have some tips from them. So they say to dampen your hair, not too wet, not too dry either. Brush your hair before the application, which I did. Start applying in thin, multiple layers, which I did do it in layers, but I'm gonna try and do smaller layers to get a better result than I did last time. Finish by combing the hair, which I also did, and then letting the hair dry. So the biggest thing I was missing is that I did not put it on damp hair. So I'm wondering if it will look different if you put it on damp hair and then it dries, because at the end of my video, I hated how it felt, how it looked on my hair. It looked and felt so crunchy and hard, and my hair felt very, very stiff. So I'm wondering if that was namely because I put it on dry hair. Some people got really, really upset in the comments, so I apologize for missing that step, but we are gonna try and do better today. Another thing that I've only been getting these comments as of recently is that people are saying I was way too harsh on the brand. I rewatched the whole video today, and I thought I was pretty fair until the end of the video, where I admit that I went a little hard on the brand and I called it a scam, which it's not a scam, because obviously if you are commenting saying that it's working for you, it's not a scam. I was just upset because when it was marketed to me, the tagline was new color every day of the week. My main issue with the product is that I didn't feel like you could wear it every day like a normal hairstyle as it was advertised. At the time, on their social media and in the video advertisement that I received on Instagram, it was kind of marketed as a hair dye that you can change up every single day. Most, if not all, of the pictures that I saw, they had all over color and their hair just looked normal. It didn't look like there was any kind of wax or product in it. And I even mentioned in my original video that I'm not sure if the pictures they used are even models actually using that product, because it looked vastly different from what I received. So with their tagline, new color every day of the week, I assumed that that would mean it's a very wearable color that you could wear as easily and accessibly as regular hair dye, but it washes out. However, it seems like their marketing strategy has definitely changed over the past few months, because when I went on their social media, I see that they highlight a lot of customer pictures that are using it more as a styling wax more than changing their entire hair color. Now it is more advertised as something to put streaks in your hair or to use as a traditional wax. Something else I've noticed is that now it is primarily marketed to children. When I found this product, it was marketed more towards adults/teens. That's why I bought the product, because it seemed like it was exactly what I was looking for. So I think it's great that they are marketing it towards kids now, because I think this is something that you'd more so want to play with or wear to school during Spirit Week or something like that, wear to football games. Not something you could wear to work, at least what I experienced, but we're also going to be testing it out today to see if we can do that. So I apologize for being very harsh in my previous video. I'm going to try and keep a more open mind in this video and hopefully get this to work, because I spent the money on it, so it'd be nice to use it. Okay, so I'm going to comb through my hair, make sure all of the tangles are out. So I'm going to separate out my hair so I can work in sections. And I have a spray bottle of water that I'm going to use to dampen my hair. The bottle is kind of stained because I previously had my tea tanning mixture in here, but it is just water that I'm spraying. Okay, my hair is pretty damp and I am combing through it again just to make sure it is all detangled. Now this doesn't stain clothes like a hair dye would, but just so I don't get it on my shirt, I'm gonna keep a towel around my shoulders. Okay, I'm gonna be working on this section to start. So you take a little bit in your hand, mix it all on your palms, like so. It smells like sunscreen, I remember that. I love the smell. And just work it into your hair. So I do currently have blue hair. Since this showed up on my brown hair, I don't think there should be much of an issue, and it might just give a cooler look. I'm not going to be bringing it all the way up to my roots because I just don't think that is necessary. It does feel a lot less stiff than it did on dry hair, but it still does feel a little bit crunchy. I keep brushing through it, combing through it. Okay, so we finished that strand. I'm going to move on to a new section. It does dry very quickly. I wish I had a little bit more time to work it into my hair because it kind of dries on my hands before I even have time to completely run it through my hair. I'm gonna get a little bit more. It seems to help when I also spray my hands with water before I pick up any more wax. Just helps to spread it out more evenly on my hair, and it gives me a little bit more time to work it in. I'm actually gonna try and get my hair more wet on this side and see if that makes a difference, if more water is better for this. I had it damp, but I might try and soak it a little bit more and go section by section so it doesn't have time to dry. I feel like it looks actually more vibrant when you just put it directly on your hair instead of rubbing it around in your hands. And I'm just taking a little bit each time. I'm not taking like a full scoop, just putting a little bit on and then massaging it onto the hair. When you are combing it out with the product in it, be very careful because since it is a little stiff in my hair, it's easier for strands to break off. All right, now that we have the bottom layer, isn't super long, I'm gonna do the last section off camera and then just give my synopsis after. All right, just finished out the other side. I'm taking a wider tooth comb to comb through everything. My hair is still damp, so I'm gonna come back once it's all dry to see how it looks, how it feels. I'm hoping that it will dry better than it feels now. Okay, so here is how it looks at the moment. Right now, it still feels a little crunchy, a little stiff. You can blow dry your hair with this, but my hair gets pretty frizzy when I blow dry it, so I don't want to do that and give this a worse shot at working. Even after combing through everything, my hands still do get caught so easily. That was one of my complaints in the last video, and I stand by that complaint because even when you comb through everything, it's like it retangles in an instant because of the nature of the wax. So as far as running your hands through your hair, maybe not. I'm gonna see if I can style this and then I will come back once it's all dry. All right, my hair is fully dry. My thoughts, it's not as bad as I originally thought it was, but it's not great. And some does come off on your hands even after it's dry. It's not a lot, but you probably want to wash this off at night as opposed to the next morning so that you don't get dye all over your pillow. It does feel a lot better than it did when I put it on dry hair, but it still feels very stiff and sticky, and like it doesn't separate like normal hair, like it's clumpy, like it just doesn't really give my hair a good texture. Maybe if like I pull part of it back. I also want to see if maybe it just needs something to hydrate it, so I'm going to be putting in some of my shea butter and coconut oil hair serum. This is from Trader Joe's. I know Trader Joe's, that's not a place you usually think about for hair products, but I really like it. I think that made it look a little bit better. It feels a tiny bit better, but this still doesn't really feel nice. So I guess if you aren't concerned with the feel of your hair, if you're someone who doesn't touch their hair and that doesn't bother you, I think it looks okay in person. Like you can't tell it looks super crunchy. You can kind of see it like in the way your hair falls because it just falls in like clumps, but visually I think it's doable. Realistically, I don't see myself using this again. For what I want to do, for putting it all over my hair, I don't think it's a great product. It's kind of time consuming, and I'm someone who touches my hair a lot, and I can't stand the feeling. Like feeling this, I don't like it. I think this would look a lot better if you had shorter hair, like a pixie cut, and you wanted to use this to style it. Or, like I said earlier in the video, using it for streaks throughout your hair, like especially if you're going to braid it, where you're not really gonna be touching your hair, I think this would be a good option. Would I suggest that you go out and buy this? Not necessarily. If it works for you, that's great. I'm glad it works for someone, but I can't confidently recommend this product when I'm not really satisfied with how it performed. That's not to say that it won't work for you. That being said, if this sounds like something you do want to try, I will link it in the description box below. I hope that this video was a better representation of this product and that it was less harsh than I perceived it in my previous video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like because it really helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this because I do a lot of hair videos. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will hopefully see you in my next video.